Sweet. Okay. So we are live. We are live streaming to 9 social channels. And everyone, if you're watching us live via social media, we are here with Harry the Bigdog Jamison, who just finished up Veteran Last Matter. So if you don't know anything about Veteran Last Matter, Harry had put this event on one time before, but this time when he put it on, everybody said no. But he didn't give up. He put it on again, and like a flood of people wanted to be a part of it. People came to him asking him, could they be a sponsor? People came to him asking, could they be on his waiting list to be a speaker or a comedian? And we're going to find out how he did all of this because I want people to come to me too. So, Harry, you have the stage.
I have the stage. What is up, everyone? How is everyone doing? You know, I was told not to say everyone because when you're online, you're talking to each individual. But how do you do that on a live stream when you know people are on? So, anyway, I digress. I'm using my big words, Jason. So, I wanted everybody to come and experience this. If you're into making events, I wanted you guys to experience what it takes to do an event if you haven't done one, and if you haven't had a major tobacco, we'll call it that word, then you haven't done enough, or you haven't even done one. So let me share my screen. Take me off camera. And share my screen. Oops. Second, share. Move out the way. You guys see my screen?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. So, welcome to my masterclass. My name is Harry Jamison, and I'll give you a little brief on me, but this is not about me. This is about the event, but people want to know. I was born, and now I'm here. That's my brief. Seriously, I was born in New York. I did 26 years in the Army, 26 and a half years. I almost shorted myself a half a year. And I started doing events early in the 80s. From DJ events, I used to DJ. I did reunions. I did pretty much everything you can name. So this event or this masterclass is called From Nothing to Event in 60 Days. A marketing success story is what I'm coining it, because it was, in a lot of people's eyes, a marketing success and a successful event. We will talk about the prep. We'll talk about the tech. We'll talk about the show. A little backstory on Veterans Last Matter. My last couple of years in the military, I was what they call the Casualty Notification NCO. And for those who don't know what that is, I had to notify the families of people in the military, in the Army specifically, who were injured or deceased. One of the hardest jobs ever that I had to do. And prior to me with that last job, when you heard from me, Harry, it was a joyous time. This 2 years, when people heard from me, it was the worst day of their life. So I kind of developed the whole PTSD thing because we seen stuff that nobody else should be able to see. Fast forward to about 2020, this virus hit. So I start a couple of shows. One of my shows, I interview DJs. It's called a DJ interview. I started that because everybody's online. Getting people online is the easiest thing to do right now. So many millions of people got introduced to Zoom. So many millions of people were home doing nothing. Mandatory, doing nothing. So me and my good friend Jason Hodge decided to, well, I was talking about him about this show, this thought in my head. This was the next year in 2021. I had an idea because the whole Black Lives Matter, Blue Lives Matter, everything mattered. So I was kind of thinking about, well, veterans matter too. And me being the comical person that I always am, I thought of veterans laughs matter. Took it to my boy Jason and our other boy Chris Gloss. Great idea. So we get it set up. I'm giving you guys the speeded up version so I could get to the event. We set this thing up, and I was talking to Jason the other night. I don't remember if it was 6 or 9 days that we set this thing up, but 6 days sound better, so we've been going with 6 days. We set this up really quickly. It was a Zoom comedy show. I got 5 comedians from different areas, from New York to the West Coast in LA. I had 5 comedians, all clean comedy, which some of them, it was hard to do, but they said yes. I don't know why comics don't like clean comedy. I guess they think other stuff is funny, and it is, but I wanted it clean because of the people that I'm surrounded around. So we put this show on. It was a big success, and I got a few calls after, and about half those calls were people thinking about taking their life. And they said this Veterans Laugh Matter show helped them. I'm getting a little there now. And I cried like a baby because these are your friends. These are people you know, and you don't know what people are going through at any given time. So fast forward to 2023, when this show is getting ready to start to happen. I bring it to my school. I'm in school right now for film, and they agree. They say this is a great idea. It'll help a lot of veterans. So let's start going with the prep part of this. Now, for me, I already knew what I wanted. I wanted a hybrid event. They gave me access to the auditorium at the school. So I wanted a hybrid event because I still have a lot of people that I know and a lot of friends, a lot of military people that's not in my same state. I'm in the Illinois area, the southern Illinois area, closer to St. Louis. Chicago is about 5 hours away from me, going straight up. So I knew I wanted a hybrid event. I had to do this outreach of massive people because I'm in this area only 2 years. I don't know a lot of people. And the outreach was crazy. We already talked about the event venue. I got access to the school, and that was a big deal. That was, big on the list. So the tech part of it, one of the things that I wanted to use was a platform like this called Zoom. I wanted a 4-camera setup for my live, and this is all leading into the good part of the story. I wanted a 4-camera setup, and I'm using my trusty YOLO box. For those who don't know what a YOLO box is, it's just a portable camera switcher that you can live stream from. I'll make a video on that one day. And that's it for the tech. In my mind, this is all simple. As I know with a lot of us that create events, it is just, in our minds, it's pretty simple. Zoom platform, I got the live audience, I got a 4-camera setup, I got the YOLO box, which is gonna go into the Zoom. I'll be able to switch between cameras, too easy. So now we get to the show. And I will tell you what was supposed to happen, and then I'll tell you what actually happened. What was supposed to happen was the show will go, everybody will laugh, no hitches. You'll hear from good comics, and everything is happy, hunky-dory. What actually happened, and let me put it this way. When things go wrong, you cannot blame it on the sunshine. You cannot blame it on the moonlight. Come on, if you know the words, sing with me. You cannot blame it on the good times. Blame it on Murphy. Murphy's Law, people, let me tell you, that is real. That is real. For everybody who don't know what Murphy's Law is, it is anything that can go wrong will go wrong. Anything. And then in some cases, anything that can go wrong in a worst possible time. So now, let me tell you to me. I don't need no slides for this. I don't need no nothing. So we get to the event, and this is the whole Murphy's Law thing. And I knew from when I got there, it was going to be one of these days. So I have my instructor, and she let us into the building. Well, she went and bought balloons, and we were going to tie them on the car so everybody know where to park. She opens the door, the balloons fly away. So no balloons no more. So she come with the frowny face, all my balloons are going. I was like, this is the perfect start to this. We couldn't get in the building. It's a Saturday evening. Nobody has gotten into the building because school opens, I think, during the afternoon time, and then they close the doors and lock it. So we had to call what they call public safety, which is the school police. We get them to open the door. We get into the auditorium, and everything, like I said, was supposed to have been simple. I connect the Zoom. I set up my DJ, by the way, my DJ Tony Crush. For all you old school people, if you heard of the Cold Crush Brothers, that was that DJ. He is an icon, and he came from New York to support this event. So I was like, oh man, thank you so much. So we finally get in, we get all the equipment in, we attempt to start setting up. I get a call from Jason because Jason is my Zoom guy. You got to have support. I'll talk about the support you need later, but Jason is my Zoom person. He calls me. Yes. All right. Give me 5 minutes. I'll call you back when I set it up. I go to set up. Now, mind you, we've tested everything weeks prior. Everything worked. Microphones, sound, everything. We logged on to Zoom, did a mock Zoom call. Everything worked. So I set up the computer. There's no internet. So without no internet, there is no Zoom. And I'm like, oh. I like music. I like my old school music. So I went into my Big Daddy Kane. I'm like, So I look up. I'm like, are you playing jokes on me? I'm talking to the big man now. No internet. Now, I get to set up the DJ equipment with Tony Crush. I did tell you this is an icon. And I get him set up. I never plugged anything else in because now one of the comedians come in. He is fine when I seen him. I mean, happy go lucky. Within 10 minutes of me seeing him, he's shaking now. Something he did, he had something with his teeth going on. So he took antibiotics and Tylenol, but I guess that didn't kick in. About 20 minutes later, they found him laying on the floor around the corner. This is the main comedian. This is the closer comedian. So all of that's going on. I still didn't set up the Zoom because there's no internet. Come to find out, it's the wire. The wire was messed up. So we scrambled, found another Ethernet cord, got that set up. I got Jason on. Now the mixing board that was right there that I was just tapping into, there's no sound. So nobody on the Zoom call could hear any of the sound, any of the mics, anything. And everybody around me is freaking out. I am that one, and I wore this shirt on purpose. I'm that one, I don't panic, because when you panic, you lose all your bearings. You may start screaming at the wrong people. These people are volunteering to help you, and you may start screaming at them. And now they're not going to help you anymore if they don't already leave. In the midst of that, I get a call from one of the guys who was setting up the food for me. I managed to get support to get food. Well, I thought he was bringing everything, but he ordered some stuff, and now I needed to take the few guys that I had with me. Somebody had to go get the food, and he was running late. So all of this is going on. So now the DJ comes to me and hooks it. I still don't have anything hooked up. I get him hooked up. His hard drives stop working, and that's where all the music is. So I'm running around, running around, running around. Finally, I get one thing right. The food, the food arrived. The wife came, she set everything up with that. Now, I have a lot of stuff in my head that I sometimes fail to communicate with people because in my mind, you don't know how to set up a DJ equipment if you didn't ever set one up. You don't know how to set sound up if you never set any of that up. So my failure to communicate in some people's eyes is, why does he keep everything? So I'm going through that. The other comedians start coming in, and we still have no sound. Show was supposed to start at 7 o'clock. I actually had it in my mind to start at 7:30. I did not communicate that to anybody. So again, everybody's freaking out. They're thinking it was all we're so late. Finally get the DJ set up, finally get the Zoom going. I end up using, where's my wireless mics? I had my props here. I end up using one of the DJI wireless mics, and I wish I could show you what it is. It has a magnet on the end. So what we did, we took that wireless, stuck it to the microphone, so everybody in the audience can hear from the regular microphone, from the house microphone, and then everybody on the Zoom can hear from the wireless mic. But something we didn't think about, and I didn't think about that till the next day. Y'all know Zoom has this what do they call that thing where they suppress a noise suppressor. So nobody heard any of the ambient laughing and outside because of Zoom's noise suppression. Nobody thought to cut it off. I sure did, because I'm running around with a comedian that's on the floor. I'm running around worried about the Zoom, the music, the food, and everybody else that's there. So what happens next? We get the show going. So now the comedian that was laying on the floor, he ends up leaving. He didn't want to leave because he lives about an hour and a half away. But he's like this. We gave him some water. He's spilling water all over his. Woo. I wore this shirt for a reason. Because you have to be that Superman, that super tech, that super calm, super everything. We finally get this show going, and nobody else knew what was going on. They just knew it was a delay. But at the end, we're going to have some Q&A and a little bit. At the end of this show, everybody just had a great time. This was one of the first comedians there. I was with him last night. This is Friday for people who are watching, Friday the 5th of April. April 4th, I'm at the comedy club filming this guy and his crew. So I got in late last night. If y'all see the baggage under my eyes that I didn't unpack. Everybody just had a good time. And that's the wife. It turned out to be really good. I got so many hugs. We took so many pictures. That's my instructor right there, and that's my right-hand man, my classmate. While working on all of this, let me take myself off and stop sharing. While working on all of this, do I have my video? Yes. While working on all of this, we're doing a documentary, and we're documenting the lead up to this comedy show, and some of the things that just went on. We have a mental now. One of the things that I wanted you guys to really get out of this is to get to your own finish line. There was a lot of things that going on. Me and Jason were talking yesterday, and we talked about how many, he had made a comment, how many people would have quit during the middle of that. And when you're doing these events, people are counting on you. This event was way bigger than me. It was about saving soldiers, saving veterans' lives. And if I saved one, just one, I did what this comedy show was supposed to do. So, we're gonna take some questions and answers, because I want to hear from you guys. I talked enough. I don't like talking by myself all the time. So in closing this, I wanted to make sure you got a couple of quotes from me. One of them, my favorite, from Abraham Lincoln: no matter who you are, no matter what you are, be a good one. And that stuck to me. I didn't understand what it meant when I first heard it, but I do now. And I want to leave you with one more. As long as you live, keep learning how to live. So now I'm going to open this thing up for some questions, answers. I talked long enough. My voice is starting to go because I was talking so much yesterday. I got my tea with me. So open up the floor. Everybody's on mute.
Yeah, I got my hand
Sorry about
raised.
that. Let me say this before we go into questions. I want to say, if you want to be a part of this conversation, these master classes, you want to meet more people like Harry the Bigdog Jamison and have more in-depth conversations, you have to join the Virtual Summiteers peer group. But other than that, I am stopping the live stream, and only the people live with us here on Zoom are allowed to talk to Harry. So you can join us, or this could be the end.